You've all heard about the situation with the Skywatcher mount having bent bolts. Well, through a close examination I discovered that in fact actually it's not the bolts that are the problem, but the wedge that sits inside the mount, inside here, is in the wrong place. And I've come up with a fix that will fix the problem, basically. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to dismantle this mount here, and I would suggest you start off getting yourself some gloves, because inside here there are two Vaseline covered washers and I hate the stuff, so I've got some gloves on for that reason. So we're going to start off, as you can see from here on the side of the mount there's the locking nut. You want to use a 17mm spanner, undo the nut, take that out. Let me just turn this down here. What you find is on this surface you'll get 3 grub nuts. Okay, using a 3mm Allen key, undo them like this until you can see the heads. I've already undone these so you can just see the heads, but that's enough. Then use your spanner again and undo the nut. And remove it. And you'll find that now you've released the pressure plate inside and undone the nut, it should come off very easily. As you can see from the bottom, there's a plastic washer which is covered in Vaseline. There's a pressure plate, and then there's the other washer which is covered in Vaseline. Put them to one side and you know they're there. The other thing, remove your nut, bolt. Okay, and that's all there is to that. So we'll just put that to one side. Now what you find is that this tongue here, the design fault with the Skywatcher mount is that's in the wrong place. It should be further around here. So what we've done is I've designed a wedge, and here it is. Okay. Now what this does is it fits the curve of this tongue like so. So when the bolt is inserted back onto the mount, instead of slipping off, which is what the mount does, this now sits at a better angle to the wedge like so and won't slip off. The next thing, we're going to mix up some glue, and I'm using an epoxy resin glue. This is a new tube so it doesn't want to move. There we go. If you want to stop the thing from dribbling, pull the knob backwards and it'll suck any residue back into it. So let's just put this back on. Use our spatula, mix it up, like so. Okay, let's turn it on its side, like so, which will give me good access to this side here. Okay, so what we do now, get some of this, make sure the surface is as clean as you can get it. I don't need to tell you how to apply glue, I'm sure you know how to do it yourself. So, okay, like so, and just put it on like so. Now that's there. I suggest you leave it for 24 hours to set, and we'll come back to this tomorrow. When they made it, I don't know why they made this decision or what, but the tongue that sticks down at the bottom here, they put it in the wrong place, and it should be more, several degrees further round to accommodate everybody in the northern hemisphere. So I decided when I made my wedge that if I imagined I lived at 45 degrees on the planet, the nut coming through would actually sit here at 90 degrees. As we're not far off and it's curved, there's not much, well, there's no chance whatsoever that the nut will slip off. It'll be locked in place. Now you can see from my design that this one has 2 holes in it, because my original design, I was going to screw the wedge in place onto the tongue, but I found out through trial and error later on that actually this isn't necessary. So my first batch of wedges have got 2 holes in them, and the second batch won't. So any of you get the wedges with holes in them, just ignore it. It's not necessary. So there we go, that's it for the time being. Like I say, we'll get back to this tomorrow. Okay, here we are back again. So what we're going to, now we've got that settled, it's nice and firm, we're going to start, I'll show you how to put it back together again. Okay, now we've got that fixed in place, that's looking good. What we're going to do now is reassemble it all. So this disc goes here, and the other one goes on the other side. Let me just turn that around so you can see what I'm doing. God, I hate this Vaseline. Horrible stuff. Get it in there. And then I hold that in place like so. And that one, and that goes in here. Now it takes a little bit of jiggling around. There we go. Now the other side, you're going to have to, I use a little stick, and that should line it up. Takes a little bit of perseverance, but you get there in the end. There we go. Doesn't need to be done up too tight. And then we get the nut to put here, and then the locking nut goes on the other side. Again, it's just to lock the nut in place. Okay. As you see, it's now flexible. What you want to do now is, by using the 3mm Allen key, and you'll have to do this with feel. There's 3 of them, so they have to be done up fairly evenly. Just until you feel it touch the surface. That's not too bad. And that's about it really. Replace your bolts. Because my mount lives mostly outside, I replaced my bolts with stainless steel ones, and they need to be replaced. probably find that when you replace the bolts, if you need to, you may find that the thread inside here has been pulled when you bent the bolts. If that's the case, just get an M10 tap and re-tap the aluminium thread. If it's particularly bad, you can drill it out and put, you know, an M12 in. But these stainless steel ones don't rust and the other ones do. Here we go. Like so. And then the other one, let's put this down on its side. Like so. Again, just I've taken my caps off here. Obviously it's got the company logo on one, and it's got some the degrees on the other one. I don't use them, so I haven't put them back, but it's up to you. I use a spirit level which shows me the angles to get the correct angle I want on there. That's basically it. There's nothing else to do. Thank you for watching the video. I hope it helps. There'll be a link here that tells you where you can get the wedges off me. Thank you very much.